Hey you, it's True with a summon or skip review on the new SSR Clare. This fire unit comes with a speed of 486, but does she have what it takes to set the Evertale meta ablaze again? Let's find out. Her first active skill gives 1 spirit and costs 60 time units. It's called Heating Up. Quite the apt name because damage scales over the time she spends on the battlefield, starting at 200% all the way up to 800% if she has been there for 450 time units or more. And this single target attack also ignores enemy damage reduction effects. Combined with her passives, this can lead to some crazy damage numbers. And furthermore, this skill also grants burn to herself. Her second skill gives even more spirit, 2 of which, and it only costs 10 time units, called Blaze Onward. It heals her entire team for 800% of her attack and also grants next turns to 2 random burning allies. This locks after use and only unlocks when a non-conjured unit is defeated. It doesn't matter if that's an ally or an enemy. Her third skill is actually spirit neutral and costs 70 time units. It is called Deadly Burn Blast, and it is truly deadly because it deals, well, just 300% damage to 2 enemies, but it is an execute skill. It yet again ignores damage reduction, and the only condition is that she needs to be burning. And that's not even where her execute skills end, because her final skill is an instant skill that costs 3 spirit and 1 time unit. Silver Sky Slash deals 500% AoE damage, ignoring counterstance, skin passives, and also survival skills from non-boss enemies. Notably not damage reduction, but she has her other skills for that. This skill is just locked 100 time units on entry and after use. So not a skill that she can spam, but still definitely a skill to look out for. You can also see some nice combination potential with Blaze Onward right after this instant skill if she gets a kill with it. Moving on to her passives, the first one is called Burning Bond. Claire cannot be defeated by burn damage. She is immune to stun effects, as are all burn units nowadays, and she is also immovable. This might also be a little bit of a protection for the enemies, as you will see in a bit. As long as there are 3 or more burning allies on the battlefield, Claire will survive any attack that would defeat her with 1 HP instead. Of course, this is excluding executes skills. Each time Claire gets a turn, all allies are healed for 30% of their max HP, and at the end of Claire's turns, if she has a power charge, all allies become enraged. The power charge is then removed, or if she doesn't have a power charge yet, she gains a power charge. Given that this is at the end of Claire's turns, and she has some low time unit skills as well, and cannot be stunned, this is quite the potent near perma enrage for her team. Now this enrage, the 50% attack increase, is already part of the promised additional damage scaling that I mentioned before, but it gets even crazier in her second passive, which is called Explosive Drive. Claire gains 10% attack for each burning unit on the battlefield, up to a maximum of plus 80%. And because it doesn't say otherwise, this should actually stack with enrage effects, which means all of her skills could actually deal ungodly amounts of damage. Heating Up, especially with the 800% after 450 time units, ignoring damage reduction, that could scale up insanely. But Claire also comes with a powerful entry effect. Whenever she comes in from allied reinforcements, which given that she's immovable can only happen once, Claire and 1 random ally are granted instant death wards. Always nice to have those around. So far, this was exclusive to Satan, and it seems like this continues to be exclusive to burn teams for now. Also, quick reminder on the instant death ward, this prevents one defeat from non-damage by a non-boss enemy. This does not prevent defeats from execute skills that actually deal damage. Another entry effect is that all units are granted a burn status. This triggers twice, which means this takes care of eventual burn wards on her own team, but also burn wards on the enemy team or stealth shields and things like that are no longer enough to keep yourself safe from the burn that Claire brings to the battlefield. And this is especially potent because after this double burn trigger on all units, all burning units are stunned for 50 time units, and this also triggers twice. So given that all burn units, or even Chronos at this point, are stun immune, those will not be affected, but everybody else will be in for a stun because potential stun wards will be removed by the first trigger already. So all in all, summon or skip for Claire. This is an easy one for me, because if you run a burn team, there's a very high chance that she can do some great stuff for you. If you don't run any burn units right now or are not planning to build a burn team, then this is an easy skip. Though for Wales, the fellowship together with Kirin might be interesting. Now looking a bit closer at her role in burn teams, I think she can be a potential replacement for quite a few strong burn units that right now still have a regular spot in most strong burn teams. For example, there's Lebu, because she can reach even crazier damage scaling while still ignoring damage reductions. But there's also somebody like Shenlong, a commonly used unit in the 5th position of burn teams. I would argue Claire might be a better placement right there, right now. Entry effect is just really nice, although that is not to say that there couldn't be some experimental builds where she is also in front use. All that being said, she cannot replace units like Cerberus and Lucifer, who are still even bigger staples, arguably, for burn teams, especially Lucifer, who is just needed to keep the burn going. And having at least Cerberus or even new Anya in your burn team to protect a unit like Claire might also be very helpful, considering that she doesn't come with any armor, she doesn't come with mega healing burn. Yes, she has defeat protection as long as there are burning allies or a sufficient amount of burning allies. But yeah, you can expect her hate to rise the longer she stays alive, giving her damage scaling on the first skill. And she might just be quite vulnerable to strong execute skills. To sum it up, I think Claire is clearly a top 4 burn unit right now. She could replace quite a few potent burn units with what she does, including older ones like Mordred. There are 2 buts, but we will likely or possibly see another burn release in August, which may or may not be even better than Claire. And the second but is that if you have a low amount of soulstones, do not go under 28k soulstones for her. The good news though is that I think even at 1 copy she will provide very, very good value to your team if you run burn. If you don't run any burn, skip. Hope you enjoyed this review. I tried to keep it a little bit more crisp while also reviving one of my older video formats. If you found it helpful and or enjoyed it, please hit that like button to let me and YouTube know. Stay tuned for more Evertale content by subscribing and becoming a true carrot. And as always, thanks for watching.